Greetings and welcome to Red Panda Preview. Here we cover conventions in the Mid-Atlantic region that are coming up and focus more on the after hours or the party aspect and the social interaction that's available at these conventions. In this video, we're going to be talking about Katsucon and MAGfest, which are both coming up here in February, back-to-back weekends. I'm Pedrock, and this is
Nelson, aka the Afrobot. Hello.
And today we're going to start off discussing the Gaylord National. The Gaylord National is the site location for both Katsucon and MAGfest, and really deserves a discussion of its own because it's much different than other convention centers. It ends up being located in the National Harbor in Maryland, but it looks out over the Potomac. Has a really large garden area that allows a lot of natural light to come in and very good scenery. The hotel, since it's open to the public, most conventions and any events at the Gaylord, anybody can attend and enjoy without really having to go to the convention itself. The resort area is really more of a vacation-y luxury type place, which ends up making it really pricey to stay, cost of living. I mean, when you go, you have to deal with parking lots. So you're going to have daily parking fees. You're going to have, if you eat out, it's going to be pretty expensive. Each meal is going to be like $20 or so. Cheapest option is Subway.
There's a McDonald's like right as you get in, but don't really recommend that.
Another perfect thing about the Gaylord is if you're staying in the atrium room, they're going to be the rooms with the balconies. You look out into the hotel and you get to see that garden area, the bar area. So even from your rooms, no matter what floor, you can still be part of the convention without having to actually go down, which is pretty nice and very pretty.
Yeah, the inside area is 19 stories, so you can pretty much have a view no matter what.
What do you think about Katsucon after hours?
After hours, that one even more so. I'd say it's even more cliquey. I mean, it's one of those that I've been going to conventions with a group, so I tend to stay with them. We don't necessarily go to other groups and try and socialize as much because we're all just hanging out with each other.
Yeah,
there is stuff going on, but again, it's more sectioned.
Yeah, and that I end up disliking, but at the same time, I think after hours is a little bit better for meeting people because I go off on my own and then I'll scavenge around to find other people that are alone, and that's you get time to actually chat with them, meet someone new, actually make a friend, and that's how I've met a few friends that have lasted. And you make a convention friend, and now going forward, whenever you go to other local conventions, you have someone to meet up with and catch up with. I think after hours is also a little bit easier because for Katsucon, since it all dies down and everybody that has a plan has gone to bed, the people that are staying up are the ones that do want to go party, do want to go socialize, and are more open.
I can see that. Yeah.
What do you think about the nightlife or after hours for MAGfest?
Woo-wee. Now that's another thing. MAGfest, I think, to me, probably has the best after hours crowd. I mean,
it's all after hours crowd.
It's pretty much everybody.
Yeah, like Katsucon, it's like packed during the day, and everybody's in that little garden area, or everybody's in the gazebo area, and you gotta like wade through the crowd, and then 10 o'clock hits, and it's like cut in half. Midnight hits, and it's a quarter, and then like 3 a.m. hits, and there's like nobody out. Yeah. But MAGfest, I mean, it's more packed, I think, during the day, but all throughout, you just keep that big crowd, and it always seems like it's a big convention or festivity instead of the huge contracts that you get with Katsucon.
And I think that kind of lends into more of you have concerts going on pretty much throughout the whole night. So you have anything comparable to like a rave or a rock show. You have people playing like Cards Against Humanity, like in a corner somewhere, and you could just like pop in. People are pretty friendly,
inviting.
That's a little to be expected, in the evening hours. But.
Katsucon also, most of their programming will end up shutting down for a few hours, and that's fair. But MAGfest, since it's more games and you don't need someone to control it or entertain, it's 24 hours. It's always available, and it's the most free weekend that you can have for a convention because it's literally whenever you want to do something, you can. Big factor that helps the party aspect of both is at Katsucon, you're getting a wristband if you're over 18. So if you're not wearing a wristband, man, you could be over 18, you could be over 21. Who knows? If you're wearing a wristband, you're over 18. We don't know if you're over 21. But MAGfest, they are specific.
Yep.
They'll give you...
There's 3 tiers.
Yep. If you're under 18, you're getting a certain color. Red. If you're 18 to 21, if you're 18 to 21, you're getting another color. Blue. And if you're over 21, you're getting green, which makes it perfect for identifying what crowds you're going to best mix with. And especially if you're like us and you're going to be having parties in your room and opening it up to people, you know, somebody walks in and they're not wearing a wristband, that's a bit of a flag. And you can say, sorry, go get a wristband, man, and come back, and we're good.
Been there.
And we've had to kick people out that have come in without a wristband, and the problem is they'll come in drunk and they don't understand why they need the wristband or why we care about the wristband, and then we got to have a bouncer to kick them out.
Yeah, so definitely, you know, if you're doing a room party, you know.
I like how we say bouncer, like we have a dude posted up at the door, some like 300-pound dude, just like, nah, you can't come in, and it's really like a 90-pound Viet dude that was just pent up rage and blow up on people. Both conventions at the Gaylord will allow you to do custom room block, and that allows you to join rooms with other friends that you have, which it's great for sectioning off and knowing which areas of the hotel are more party open.
The only issue is with Katsucon, because they tend to hover around Valentine's Day, that you have people actually on vacation or actually there with their wife or
they're up all night anyway. They're up all night.
Which, yeah. But I mean, they might not want to hear, you know, the most bangingest trance track, you know, at 4 a.m.
A good way to meet people at these conventions, and at least at the Gaylord, Katsucon specifically, I think for me, it's to stay after and find out who's up. Again, I think those groups are more inviting. Katsucon being open over Valentine's Day weekend is also a pretty good way of just asking people to be your Valentine. I mean, it hasn't worked for me, but it can always. I think it worked once. It worked once. I swear to God, it worked
every
once.
year.
What do you think about meeting people at Katsucon?
I mean, what you mentioned about somebody asking to be your Valentine. Last year, it's like I got like a packet of tea. It was kind of weird, but I was like, oh, okay. You know, I was like,
sip it.
Why not? All right.
To meet people at MAGfest, it's a little bit easier and just be able to chat. You just go play any game. I mean, you go play a game. They're going to tell you about when they used to play it, when they were younger. They're going to tell you about how they did this cool thing or that cool thing. You get to talk about trivia about the game. You get to play together.
Yeah. That's something that you're starting not to see a lot of times. It's, you know, a lot of these up and coming gamers might not have had those arcade experiences.
Yep. You can also go to the music spaces and you play music with other people. And I mean, I'm not musically inclined, but everyone else that does, it's just like playing the game. You get to jam with each other. And then after that, you can make a connection. You can talk about, it's more flexible. How do you meet people at MAGfest?
I go to the raves. I go to the concerts. I mean,
concerts, yeah.
A good way to meet people is also, you know, in addition to staying out late and, you know, maybe partaking in the social lubricant that is an alcoholic beverage, the bar right in front of the lobby. That's a great place. That place is packed every Friday and Saturday. Yep. I haven't been there for MAGfest. I went there for Katsucon, but the upstairs lounge. The Gaylord has an exclusive lounge just for people staying in the hotel. Yep. So that's kind of a cool way.
Yeah, it's a watering hole. So it's another spot to go and find like-minded people that are going to be drinking and looking to party and not necessarily go to a concert or a panel. MAGfest is also more open to belligerents. So you can be walking through the halls saying random shit or yelling and you get a response. So that's another way to just find people that are willing to socialize. General tip for both conventions is make use of the elevator. I mean, if you go in the elevator, that's time that you have, you know, a captive audience. So be friendly to the people in the elevator, talk to them, find out what they're doing, you know, and the people that are holding hotel parties. That's probably the easiest way to find out where things are occurring and to get an invite because
those 10 to 15 seconds that you might be in the elevator.
First of all, there's no way it's 10 to 15 seconds at the Gaylord elevators. You're not. You have a captive audience for a good 5 minutes. Chat people up. That's where you get to meet them. You get to ask them their name. You get to find out if they're will or are throwing a party, or you get to invite them to your own. Another great way to meet people is to be open yourself. I mean, don't dismiss people. Don't, just because they're wearing a furry costume, don't ignore them. Like, be open to people saying hi to you and having a conversation with you, because, it's pretty much networking. You want to find out what they have planned, and they might have heard, about a party that you didn't hear about.
It's something that if you go to MAGfest, you go to Katsucon, you're likely going to maybe see these people again if you go to one of those other conventions. So
I guess keep an eye out for recurring faces for the most part. The attendees to these conventions will be there every year, or will be at other local conventions. Another general tip for both conventions is don't be a leech. Do not go in other people's room and just drink everything. Have your own supply. Keep yourself toasty, and when you meet other people, I don't even know.
Be friendly. Sharing
is
bring
caring.
Something,
it's
contribute.
Contribute or add to their pile, or don't consume their entire stockpile, because that's a pretty good way to get blacklisted.
That's key. And
it's also a good way to get real vengeful. Like, if you drink our supply, we're finding your party and drinking your supply, and then, eye for an eye leaves the world thirsty. All right.
I'm blind.
All right, so
shit.
What else is
No, that's true.
It's true. I mean, it's happened to us, and we're petty. I'll admit that shit.
Like, con etiquette is to, a great way to attend these conventions, or at least what I highly recommend is, go in a group, get a few people into the room, because it's expensive.
Yeah.
No matter what. I mean, it's always expensive, but
don't go overboard. I've had 9 people in a room, and it's cheap, but man, you gotta be
you want to sleep.
You gotta be a socialist to want to enjoy.
You want to be able to breathe. You don't want the room smelling funky. That's kind of raw.
My general tip is, if you are going in a group, dedicate, write it down on the calendar, Friday night, 8 p.m. I'm just gonna ghost. I mean, you let the people know where you're going. Be safe first of all, but just go and do 3 or 4 laps around the convention center. Hit up every room, every conference room, the game rooms, vendors room, just by yourself. I mean, part of it is I like to make myself a little bit more open, and the way I do that is to not be surrounded by people that are, crowding me or talking to me all the time and distracting me from other conversations.
And if there's stuff that you actually want to do and you can't find anybody, just go by yourself.
Go by yourself. Oh, yeah, the lines. The lines, just like elevators, you have a captive audience. At the lines for panels and workshops and so forth, you have a captive audience. So try and talk to the people around you, and try to meet someone, and that can be the person that you now go to panels with.
And make sure to stalk a few cosplayers or two. Make sure to get those pictures, because, you got to have that new wallpaper for your backgrounds. That fresh right there. That is key.
Thank you for watching. I hope that gives you a good idea of what MAGfest and Katsucon are like, and hopefully the tips help you to find more parties and not be so confined to the schedule of the convention. Give us a like if you're going to be there, and tell us in the comments where the parties are being held. You can also tweet at us and use the hashtag RPP if you're holding a party, because we want to go. And also hit the hashtag RPP and ask us where our party is, because we want attendees.
Yeah. We'll check your wristbands first.
Hey, and if you can't go to MAGfest or Katsucon, then hit us a dislike on this video and let's see how many people are missing out. Please subscribe, because after this, Katsucon and MAGfest, we're going to be going around, and we're going to have footage for post-con reviews and story time.
We're going to have some wild footage.
Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Cut.